Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio. Hello, good evening, and welcome to Rangers Radio. Some of the topics tonight for discussion with the panel members we're going to have this evening, hopefully you'll join in and help us along tonight and phone in, should Rangers appeal the SFA decision, the £3,000 fine that we got? Is it a good draw that we've got for our quest for Champions League against Panathinaikos? Motherwell, the first away trip starts a league campaign, and obviously there's breaking news just as we come on the show. Max Aarons has joined Rangers on loan. And joining me this evening to discuss the topics is two of my good friends, AK and Albert. How are you guys?
Evening, Southside. Oh, sorry, mate, you go for it. Go for it.
Aye. Evening, Southside. Evening, Albert. Evening, Rangers Radio listeners. Very professional host we've got tonight, Albert.
Who is it?
I don't know.
Who is it? I know. Who is
it? Good evening, guys. How are you to?
Aye, good mate. Some weather out there, is it no, AK? Enjoying the sunshine?
Oh, toasty, roasty, toasty. 31 degrees. What's happening there? Loads of red faces in Scotland today, I would say.
As usually saying, Glasgow taps off, isn't it, Albert?
Oh, I definitely taps off day to day, mate. No, I had my tap off because it's a horrible sight to see. Even I'm saying that, but it was a taps off job today. Didn't get much. Now and again, just popped my head out the door and then back in again. But anyway, for those who like that sort of thing, it was a wonderful day.
Certainly has. Glorious, wasn't it? Certainly glorious. So looks like we've made our third signing, and Russell Martin's first signing. Max Aarons arriving at the club, apparently on loan, AK.
Aye, it's. I think it's obviously Russell Martin has. He knows the background of the player, isn't he? He's a fullback, the right back, but I believe he's utility player. He could play across the line if needed. I think he's comfortable at left back as well. Bournemouth. He knew him at Norwich. I think he played alongside him, breaking through as a young boy, and he's obviously impressed. So he's kept track of his career. Got a £7 million move to Bournemouth. Didn't really materialise there for some reason, and moved to Valencia, but an injury cut his kind of year-long loan short there. So he's obviously looking to develop his career and seen an opportunity here to come up here and do that. And it also gives Russell Martin, take a wee bit of Tavernier's there for the rest of the season, then he's going to have to utilise him better than what previous managers has done, because it's unfair in Tavernier to expect the amount of games that he has played over the last 9 years to continue like that. So give him a breather, put him in when he needs to, and then bring him out and let the young boy Aarons develop as a right back. And who knows, he might become a permanent move in the future. Who knows?
Aye. It's a position that I think we've been looking to sort of fill, Albert. And I don't know if Rangers have made it official yet, but I believe if the deal goes through and it happens and it is officially made later on with the club, then aye, it's a position we've been looking to fill, isn't it?
It's definitely, mate. For all accounts, everybody's been talking about the Rangers fans. He's a speed merchant. And he fits into the style of football that Martin's been talking about. Because there's one thing you definitely need at the back is if you're playing that system, is speed. You need somebody to cover, and that's reportedly never seen the boy. Probably have seen the boy, just never noticed him. But according to everybody, that's what he's got: his abundance of speed. So that's good. That's definitely good. So starting to move in the right direction. I mean, I'm in no panic about the signings we're making, the lack of signings we're making. I don't know what we use, but I never ever thought we were going to be fully ready for the European game. But there's one signing, and we've got a couple more.
Aye, I've been capped at under 19s, under 21 level for England as well. I think I think most managers, but the way Russell Martin, I think we've sort of tried to look in and see how he's going to sort of style and whatnot. I think he's going to have. I think he's looking for just ball players, speed, comfortable on the ball. I think, and he'll take it in certain situations. I think, and be comfortable on the ball. The style that we're going to try and play out for the back. But I heard a wee snippet earlier, and I think we'll hear it later on. I think you just talked about pre-season, about running, hard work, two of the things that's non-negotiables in his team at the moment, AK.
I think that's non-negotiables for the fans as well. Southside, you've seen it plenty of times where you've come away frustrated because you've seen our team outworked with our opponents, i.e. a St Mirren or a Dundee or a Ross County or a Motherwell, and that's become unacceptable, mate. You know that. So Russell Martin certainly put it down to the players. This is what he expects out of the players. Endeavour, effort, work harder, run harder, win the ball in high areas. I think Albert's right. I think having a speedy defence in there is going to be, vital, because undoubtedly we'll lose the balls in silly areas. And how many times have you seen a Kyle Walker track back and, dispel the kind of threat for the opponent? So I think that is vital for his style of play going forward, that we do have these sort of players available for selection, but also availability as well. Hopefully that year that he had at Valencia isn't a recurring problem, and he isn't coming to us as an injured player, because that's the last thing we need with the likes of Sterling and all that. Suter, you could name them all. We've had too many of them over the years, so hopefully his availability is going to be there as well, which Tavernier has been.
The one thing it can't be levelled at Tav, he's been ever present virtually, and all the time he's been at the club. Albert, he's always turned up, he's always been available, but it's time for new brooms, and whether he stays or no will depend on Russell Martin going forward, and we'll find out in time whether he thinks of using them or utilising them at all, or he stays or he goes. But I just think it's a position that we need to start covering, and he's been, if the deal's done, then he's going to be part of the right back position, I would imagine, going forward. Although albeit on loan, but it will certainly key to have competition, because let's be honest, Boyle will play every single game, they will be spilled out.
Well, put it this way, the style of football that Martin's Tottenham playing, you're going to need a big squad. There's not getting away for it. Because if we manage to play 50 or 60 games, what we normally do a season, you're not going to any one player that's going to play all the games. It's just impossible. It can't be done. No play, especially no playing that type of football. So Tab will have a part to play. So if you sign the boy Aaron, is it Aaron or Aaron? If you sign him, he gets signed. You'll be looking for that boy. I'd be looking for that boy to play something like 40 games, 35 to 40 games. Over all competitions I'm talking about. And Tab picking up the rest of the slack. Tab will have a good season, mate, as long as you reduce his games. I think his legs are gone, but they're not going that much that he can't play. He's like big Balogun. You manage his games properly, you'll get 40 a season out of him, and that's enough. That's enough to help the boys coming in. So you'll need the two of them working hand in hand. No, I mean to get through the season and be successful in the season, and that goes across the whole part, mate. You're going to need a squad, mate, to cover each other, and you're not going to get away with it. If he's playing this high-tempo game, no player's going to last 50 or 60 games, mate. No player.
Well, obviously we'll have a way of fitness, and hopefully we'll have them fit as what we had when Gerrard was there. That's the fittest I've seen a Rangers team in a long time. I think the levels of fitness at that time, Albert, and carried on when they left, and Gio took up the mantle that got us to the European final. I just think the fitness levels at that point of that whole squad was unbelievable. I think you had them perfectly tuned, and you could see it in games. I think we'll miss that for a while.
But it depends how successful you really truly want to be. I just think we're well short. We know we're well short. We're well short even without playing this style of football. We need more quality. That's what we're talking. We need quality. And for all everybody's saying that this boy is the real deal. He is quality. You know what I mean? He's played a few teams now out on loan. Bournemouth, I think, have got a decent right back anyway, and that's what's holding him out. So he went abroad there. I can't remember who it was. He went to and knew he's coming back. So
Valencia, I think it was.
Valencia, right? Well, like you can't be a mug. You try to get into their team. You know what I mean? Because they're normally a good team, but. So he seems to be the real deal, and if he is the quality they're saying, this is what we're looking for. This quality I'm talking about, this is what we're looking for, because it's definitely quality we're looking for all over the park. It's not just the right back, but you're right. We did need a right back, so it seems that we've got one anyway.
Well, he's in for a season anyway, I believe. You know, I don't think there's anything. I don't think there's a clause yet. I've not heard anything. There's a clause to buy or anything like that, or anything like that forward. It's just at the moment it's been announced as a season-long loan. AK.
Yeah, that's correct, mate. It's a season-long loan, as you say, no obligation or anything like that. So it's it's a stopgap. Obviously, you've got Sterling returning for his Achilles, snapped Achilles, but he's not expected to come back to say September, October before he starts kind of on the training ground. So you might not be able to see him for at least maybe until the turn of the year. So we do need numbers in there, a quality replacement, and just juggle it about, because we've got games going to come thick and fast as soon as the season starts. We're not far away from friendlies coming up, and then we've got Panathinaikos coming up before the SPFL actually starts as well in early August.
Aye, well, I think we've all been looking to. Well, Albert actually said that he didn't expect too many to be signed, and Albert, you did say, didn't you? You don't think we might even be ready for the first game when it comes up against Panathinaikos. The squad might not be fully in yet.
I don't think we're going to be ready, mate. I definitely don't think we're going to be ready, and I think all the panic everybody's going through is just it's pointless, mate. I never did think we were going to be ready for it. It's not to say we can't win it. I mean, you can still win it, but we're not going to be 100%. Put it that way. We're not going to have all the players in place, and we're not going to gel together. It's just not happening, mate. It's just not happening. You'll be lucky to get that. I'd be happy to have half of that to 3/4 of that ready for the first league game, let alone the European game.
I don't think Panathinaikos will give a challenge. They were in the conference, weren't they, last year? And obviously we've got a new manager and we're going to have to build a squad, but we've got players there depending on if they get sold or anyone attracts attention and gets sold. Otherwise, we've got a squad there that whether they start that first game doesn't mean to say they'll still be at Ibrox after it, but I think we'll be able to put a team together, and I think we'll probably hopefully get another 2 or 3 signings in, maybe starting next week. And then I think that might be it for a wee bit of time. I don't know, but I do believe we need at least 8 or 9 players into the squad straight away to make a squad a lot better. Easy, 8 or 9. But I think it'll take time to get the players we want, and maybe like you say, with Sterling being out, coming back for injury, it's later on in the season, and the boys come in for a year's loan. That might be enough to steady the ship, what they see game time wise, but we still need to add to the squad, Alec, and probably it'll need to be in a few weeks' time, I think, yeah.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I can understand the supporters' frustrations. Of course, you can share them, because the new owners broke in about a month ago, and new manager got announced a couple of weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago. But the transfer window didn't actually open until, on Monday there. So it's just it's stages in different times. I had expected the CEO and everything, the recruitment team, they get put together before the manager came in. So you expect things in the pipeline in the background, but the fact that we don't know about anything that's happening doesn't mean to say that nothing is actually happening. I still think that we're getting dictated a wee bit with the financial fair play thing, with the amount of players that we would like to see move on, i.e. your Matondos and your Propers, your Dowells, your Davis, Cifuentes, guys like that. We need to try and get them off the books before we can bring anybody in. So I think there's, see, if you think about it, last year, come on to the exact same scenario with Cantwell and Golson and Hadji and Tavernier all expected are trying to get shoved out the door, so to speak, but they were digging their heels and he wasn't getting the players that he earmarked as well. So there's going to be a bit of that. So even now, what, 2-3 years after Ross Wilson and Michael Beale have left the club, we're still getting hamstrung with these players because of the lucrative contracts that were dealt with in the first place. So it's no up to the players. It's not their fault, but they've signed the contracts, and then prospective buyers that's going to come in are saying, well, we're no paying on that. Where the players are going, well, I'm not moving. So we're in a catch-22 situation over there again. So something has to give to get players in.
Aye. Obviously, when we're looking at the deal, I believe Robin Propper's changed his mind. He wants to have a conversation, apparently, with Russell Martin on Monday when he comes back for training. According to the reports anyway. So it'll be interesting.
I don't mind him having a conversation as long as at the end of it he says cheerio. I'm quite happy with a conversation, mate. But nah, he's no the answer. But anyway, see, Alex talking about the fair play. I don't think it's got anything to do with the fair play, big man. I think it completely. The Americans are just going to completely ignore it and take the fine. We're going to get this squad. They're going to get the squad sorted out one way or another. And they players that are not going to leave are sitting in the big contracts. If they sit there, they sit there. But we're going to try to move them. But if they sit there, they sit there. They're prepared to take a loss this season and probably the next season as well, just to clear this, to clean up this squad. But we're going for the leagues. We're going for the cups, and we're going for Europe, mate. Definitely, they're not waiting. They're not waiting a 5-year plan to get it. We'll start playing well. It's for the first game this season. That's what we're expecting, to start making progress, start looking to we're a winning team. It will get better and better and better. It's not going to be perfect, of course it's not. But the fair play, they were sitting waiting. I mean, that accountant already said this. They were sitting waiting to see what the sanctions were of the people who broke the fair play thing. So if you get a couple of £1 million fine, but you can sort your squad out, they'll do it. They'll take the fine. Quite right to take the fine. It's a lot of nonsense, that stuff anyway. So I say I'm quite prepared to sit with your Matondos and all them and try to get them out the door. Of course, but if they don't go, don't go. It's at the end of the day, we can't hang about on the pandering to the needs, the likes of players that don't want. Well, they want to be here, they want the big money, but they don't really want to be playing. So we can't waste any time. We just got to move them aside and say, well, tell your agents, find a club. If you can't play, you can't play. You don't want to play, you're injured, whatever it is, move them aside, bring the players in. It's going to take us forward, mate. And we've no time to waste with this. The Yanks are not the type that mince about and waste time on nonsense the way the other board did and the other stupid rules. They'll just ignore the stupid rules and adhere to the serious ones. And that FFP, was it FFP? That right? Is it? Whatever that is, it's just a load of nonsense, mate. What, they're going to hit you with a fine? Big deal, accept it. Yeah, I just want this sorted out one way or another, and I want a decent squad to start this season. And I can see this, and the loan deal again is a good example for this boy, Max Aaron. This is a good example, mate. They're not going to waste money and bring people in when the serious money needs to be spent in other parts of the team. I mean, the defence is important. I'm not saying it's no important, but they'll look at that and say, well, we're getting that quality player on a loan deal for the moment. We can take whatever millions or whatever money we've got and go and strengthen, get a player in that we actually can make money on further down the line, and he'll enhance this team right now. So I think it's a complete mindset. We need to change it within the club, mate. This mincing about, this to stop. Well, we can't do this, we can't do that. Well, we just need to do it. And if we need to break some rules to do it, well, let's break the rules and get it done. Let's take the fine, let's move on. I mean, I'm totally convinced that's what they're going to do. You can say, well, you can't do that, you can't break the rules. I see clubs all over the world break the rules all the time, mate, all over Europe. Man City, Liverpool, Everton, to name a few in Britain, but you know, offshores as well, in Europe as well, all over Europe, mate. Barcelona have been doing it for years. Real Madrid have been doing it for years. They just accept the fines, mate. Let's go on with it. We've got a bigger problem that it's a bigger amount of players that we need to bring in. And by the way, this is not a rebuild. Everybody keeps going on, this is not a rebuild. We're already started the rebuild with Clement. We actually started it with Beale. So we're well along the road, mate. Okay, some of the players that come in didn't work out, but that's all part and parcel of it. But this rebuild that you keep going on about, everybody keeps going on about, is actually down the road a bit. We still try to get rid of players. There's more players to try to get rid of than bring in, actually. But we need to get rid of them, and we will get rid of them. But don't let them hold you back. We can't let them hold us back any further, mate. We need to go ahead in this.
I think if we can get money in for certain players, Albert going forward, we'll take it, depending if the price is right. And I think that's maybe been the stumbling block with Dessers. But according to reports, if Rangers are saying they want about £4.5 million from him, then they'll stand by it. They don't. We can't. The days are gone. Well, we'll just give him away for nothing and we'll save on his wages. We're not in that position. We're in a far better position now than we were back then. So they're no daft. They're no begging away anybody on the cheap that they don't think deserves to go. And if there's no a plan that X's it, to maybe speed up somebody else coming in, they'll certainly no do it. But for me, they'll want money in for every single player possible that we've got on the books.
Well, Desser's a good one to mention, mate. I mean, he's not my favourite player, so forget about who's your favourite and who knows your favourite. Right? Just take it as an example. What's the point if we don't get the money we want for him, which is say 5 million? I don't know what it is, but I think 5 million is a reasonable amount to ask for. But if we don't get that, what's the point of getting away, letting him away cheap? May as well keep him and use him within the squad, and he'll get away for say 2 million, 3 million, $1 million next year. So you're not getting the money anyways, but you've got the use of him. So what's the point? There doesn't make any sense to sell him cheap. It really doesn't. Especially if you're going to ignore the FFP or FP. Is it FPP or FTP? Or, well, no, it's no FTP, is it?
Financial fair play.
FFP.
FFP, right. It's actually changed, isn't it? It's not FFP anymore.
It's sustain profit and sustainability rules now, PSR now. But that's just England.
They can roll that up a wee tight ball and ram it where the sun don't shine. No, I mean, as far as I'm concerned.
Albert, right. Albert, hold on a minute. In one horn, you're telling us you weren't expecting that many new signings now, and then in the other horn, you're saying, stuff the rules, bring them in anyway.
I'm not saying that. Well, that's what I'm saying. You'll know what one it is. I'm saying I don't expect them all to arrive right now, all ready for the European tie. That's what I'm meaning. But I expect signings to come. We'll still be signing players right up to September, mate, the last day of the season. I'm convinced of that. We'll still be signing players then. We'll not be ready or finished for signing our business right up to the last. Everybody's wanting them in and out, let's get these. I hate this term, the marquee signing nonsense. I hate that crap. That's just nonsense. Let's get the right players. I don't care. I'm not interested in household names. I'm interested in players. Hungry, fast, fit, strong, technical players. That's what I want. Good players. I'm not interested in names. I don't care about names. I don't care about marquee signings. Build a team. You build a team you fit together. They play together. They play his system. Whether you like it, whether you don't like it, whether you think we're going to lose goals, which we probably are with this system. But I like the old Brazilian way. If you score 1, we'll score 2. You score 2, we'll score 3. I quite like that, mate. As long as you win the league, who cares how you do it? As long as you win it. At the end of the day, I'm talking about the players that are there that we can't get after the books at the moment. And as you say, they're overpaid. I'm talking about having them and they're holding us back. You just need to ignore it. They're there. We pay for them. And that'll be recorded in our books. But we need to go forward, mate. Selling Dessers or selling Montondo or selling Davis or selling, it's all great. It'd be brilliant if we could do it. But it's not, it can't hold you to ransom, mate. It cannot hold the club back any longer.
I'm just imagining, well, we'll tell you today, well, we're having topics and there's loads to talk about. We also haven't even discussed the fixtures yet for the season, and obviously we talk about the European game as well. If it's all right with you two guys, I think we'll get the phone lines opened and hopefully we'll get a few callers in this evening. So let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
AK, I agree with what Albert says. I think we'll be still signing players up to the end of the transfer window, hopefully. I think there might be players we might try and get that we just can't get to now. We might have to wait, and you might have to go with certain players that we want rid of at the moment. We might have to keep and use, and I think there's probably be a player or two that might start against Panathinaikos, but might not be there come the end of the transfer window. It's just the nature of the beast.
No, listen, I agree with Albert as well on that fact. And I was going to say, you see if you look at Leeds, when the 49ers came in there, was it 2 years ago that they came in there? The first thing they done was sold their star player, Rafinha, to Barcelona. I know it was it 60 million or something they got for him, which was substantial fee. And they also sold Harry Gray to Spurs. So the Leeds supporters were up in arms. So if they sell, don't be surprised if they sell the likes of Igaman, Dessers and Raskin, Benu, and build the coffers that way. We replace them, because welcome to Moneyball. This is the sort of thing that they do, you know. So there's going to be bumps in the road here. It's not going to. I mean, we said that last year. Albert said that for months. Be careful for what you wish for. Well, this is exactly what we got. With, you know, they didn't want Rangers men in the board. They didn't want Rangers men in the dugout. You know, and we continually asked for new managers, new players, ever since you know, getting to Seville, and this is where we are. So the only thing that I would say though, Albert, is all these clubs is that flimsy punishment RFA, they can afford that first and foremost, because they've got hundreds of millions and billions in the bank, or all these states and everything to rely on. But they obviously, the other factor for me is Peter Lywell and Neil Doncaster will be sitting on these boards, and they'll be watching us like a hawk. So that's my only fear about the whole thing. But we'll see how it transpires.
Well, I think we're going to get some money in for some players. I think the players are attracting attention, and if the money's right and the bids come in, I believe they'll sell. There's a bigger plan in place. We're going to be trying to replace them, but be better players, and obviously that's what we're looking for. The boy Purdy came in with Thelwell, who was at Everton. He's been at Everton for a long time, and they seemed a bit disappointed that he's left and came to Ibrox. So maybe with his scouting knowledge, we'll start to attract sort of players that we weren't expecting of late, but will come in and do a job. Do you think, because we've got the boy Aaron's on loan as a straight loan for a season, do you think, Albert, that we might get down the road to another, maybe a couple of loan signings even, to bolster the squad?
Definitely, mate. There's no doubt about that. That's just financial stuff, mate. That's you look at the deal, you look at what we need, you look at how much we've got. It's just a simple calculation, mate. It's an equation that sits there. What the type of player they're bringing in is all down to that AI, mate. They're using the AI, the analytics stuff. You know what I mean? First of all, you just decide what type of football, what style of football you want to play, and then you bring the players in to suit it. And they do that through the. It's no scouting anymore. It's a completely different thing now. So that's why we're getting. So you get the player, and then you work out the financial bit which suits the club, and say, right, well, the boy Aaron, I'll bring him in on a loan. It suits the club to bring him in on a loan. If it suited the club to bring him in and attempt to buy him right out, they would have done that. So you don't know what's going on. It's the moving parts. It's all the different moving parts. You know, they all need to mesh together. But it's not difficult now, mate. It's quite simple. There's a lot. Most of the big clubs in world football are doing exactly what we're just going to start today. It's already been up and running all over the world, mate. It's just simple now. It's just negotiations now and moving parts. It's not that difficult. But first, the difficult thing is deciding what style of football you want to play and sticking to it. So that's what Martin's saying. That's what Martin's there. He suited that. They done the analysis on him. So he's the type of guy. It's got his style, and he's no moving for it. He sees the rough times coming. He's no stupid. He sees the rough times coming, What we need to do is sit and say, and by the way, we should have the patience to clam now the crap that we've watched over the last 12 years to say, right, we'll give him time. I hear people no give him time. It shouldn't be him. We wanted a flash manager. We want a marquee signings. Forget about that crap. All that's done now. That's all out the window years ago. You've got to go the modern way now, mate. You've got to look at clubs out of the world who are making money and going, how are they doing it and how we know doing it? And this is the way they were doing it. The model they're setting up is the way they're doing it. Style of football might be different, but they're buying the players to suit their style of football. And they're doing it through the AI as well. They're using AI to do that as well. So it's just the modern way. So I just sit back and just, I never heard of this boy, put it this way. I'm quite sure he'll dovetail lovely into whatever style Martin's going to play us. And according to everybody, it's going to be this high press, high intensity game. So I'm just sitting back and enjoying it. And in fact, I'm enjoying the silence. I'm enjoying the meltdown. Some people are going through your sit and say, what's going on? What's happening? By the way, we've been through these knee-jerk reactions. We're wanting a knight in a shining armour to come out of the hill and save us and all that nonsense. These things are on the past, mate. It's all modern now. It's to sit there and accept what you're going to get and just try and work out. When you see it, you try and work out within your own mind and go, are you enjoying it? Let's be honest about it. We're only going to enjoy it if it wins. It's all about winning, isn't it? And we're no unique. Every team's the same. It's winning. Some teams get away with it because they can sit mid-table or whatever, depending on what league you're in. We've got to win because we're in a Mickey Mouse league. We should be winning a Mickey Mouse league, mate. No doubt about it. And this is a Mickey Mouse league and Mickey Mouse Cups as well. So that's the way I think it.
No problem. It'll probably be a lot of support. Might judge the team as well when it comes to these pre-season friendlies, because I just seen that my bank get empty today with Rangers. I think it was for the Borussia game, and I think in the Middlesbrough game's coming up, I think they're coming again to get more money for that. But Middlesbrough, talking about them, AK, I seen a stat there and somebody sent me it and said that Middlesbrough have sold just about 8,000 or close to 8,000 tickets for the friendly against us in July.
That's correct, mate. I think they're just a couple of hundred short of their full allocation, so credit for them for that. But obviously they fancy their wee trip north. I'm sure you've met a few of the Borough guys over the years in your trips yourself, so it seemed like a good bunch of guys, and I'm sure they'll enjoy their trip to Glasgow and we'll make them more than welcome. So, but aye, great support to follow them up to Ibrox, and they'll enjoy the day, that's for sure.
Aye, well, certainly come up in their numbers. The game's a 2:00 kick-off, and the 26th of July. It's always good to come to a famous stadium and see it.
Well, let's be honest.
They've been up a few times in the past, mind you.
They've come up to probably the football terms the best stadium in Britain, if no Europe. I know you've got big high-tech stadiums all over the place, but the history steeped in the history. And the setup at Ibrox is second to none. The tunnel, the marble staircase, second to none, mate. There's no a stadium in the world like that. It's unique, mate, very unique. And they're coming up to the biggest team and the best supported team in Britain by a distance, mate. So, it's a treat for them. Bring them up, let's show them a good time, but give them a thank you.
Aye, well, interesting, because I think you'll maybe bring a few of the young boys up. Probably find Enciala, Curtis, Bailey Rice, and there might be one or two others that he might fling in. Paul Miso hasn't been far away a few times. Might be another one that he might add in, and we might get to see them sort of pre-season. But I think Clinton Enciala, I think this
Bailey Rice.
Bailey Rice, but I think Clinton Enciala has got a chance. I might be trying to force his way into the defence because we're struggling at the moment. To believe Suter the new, we'll come back to him. But looking at the moment, you've really got John Suter. I'm not interested in saying Taff can play centre back. I'm not even having that discussion anymore. And then Ciala, obviously Leon King's still going to be there about the building until further notice. But we're really light in centre defence. So unless we get two centre halves ASAP, then Clinton Enciala's got a chance. I think I try to force his sale on the left hand side. He's young, he's hungry, he's athletic. He is raw, but it might be somebody that Russell Martin might fancy working with, AK.
I don't think we've got much option, is what you say, and that kind of scares me a wee bit, to be honest with you, mate. But you've got Ben Davies there, I know, making a return, so you would think that he's going to start if he's not offloaded back to Birmingham anytime soon. So, but aye, there's an opportunity there for the youth, as you say, to make their mark. He's already said that they're going to have a couple of them joining their first team sessions when they start back on Monday, to give them the opportunity to impress because of the absentees that we've got, Dujon Sterling and John Souttar, and obviously other ones that's away in international duty. He's going to, I think, give him a week's grace as well. So, aye, they'll need to hit the ground running. He says he's starting a clean slate with all of them, and see who he fancies and see who he doesn't. And hopefully, well, he's hoping he's going to get another couple of signings at least before the Panathinaikos game. So we'll see where we are coming for that. But you know yourself, last year the Dynamo Kiev game came a bit too quick for us. You admitted that yourself, and you thought that. I've got a feeling this one could be the same, but we'll go into it with optimism as we always do and see where it takes us. First leg at home. He's surprised with that guy there.
Well,
I think we had been the seeded team. I thought we'd have been at home second leg, but it didn't materialise that way.
no, I heard if we can get past him, and I don't know, somebody sent me and saying 2 teams we could face, his Nice and Fenerbahce should we go through this one, and what they've sort of been looking at in the draws. So it could be two opposition if we get by Panathinaikos. I'm not overly worried about Panathinaikos, if I'm honest. Okay, we could have been in better shape, but if we can get on the training park and get the players drilled in, and who's going to face them, I'm not overly worried about it. Heat second leg, if the weather stays like this now for the next fortnight, I said the players don't need to worry about heat, but I'm not overly worried about it, Albert. I think it's a tie that we can win, and I think we're maybe 2 or 3 players short out the squad that were there last year, like a Tierney and that. But I mean, if Dessers is still here and he's got to start, Ignaman's still here and that, then we've got squad players there that were helpful last season in the team, and they'll be there until they're sold and somebody comes in and makes any major bids for them. But I mean, I think it's a tie we can go through without any question.
Well, if we're on a level playing field, and if everybody in place and we're all settled and we're all gelled, aye, I don't think it would be a problem. The only real problem that I see is ill prepared. That's the only. I mean, I don't think they're a brilliant team. No, I know much of them, but they don't strike me as a brilliant team. You can get to them. You can definitely get to them. But again, it's just down to us. I think we're not ready for it. But as I say, it doesn't mean you can't win it. You can still win it. And we'll give them a game. Put it that way. Definitely give them a game. I'd have preferred that later on in the season we were actually settled and looking half decent. But that's what it is, isn't it, mate? It's there. We need to go on. We need to win it. And let's see where we go. It's just one of the things. There's a few teams in the same position as I'd imagine. But I don't know, like they get major problems with signings or anything like that? Are they a settled team?
Well,
who knows?
I was going to say that to AK there. I don't know. I'll maybe check later on when maybe it gets near the tie. But I mean, they were in the Conference League last season. We got to the quarterfinals. Europa League. So there's a wee bit of a gulf there. And whether they're sell players or attracted any players. I know there's a couple of fast wingers last year for catching some of the highlights in games that I've seen. I think they got to about the last 16 in the Conference, AK. But listen, they could be in a bit of turmoil. They might not have a great team. You know, at the end of the day, they're just a name that we've faced in the past. And we look like we've got a squad there. It'll just depend on, as I said, some players might play that game that might not play the next one. We might get other players in. I don't know depends if you need to name a squad or no. I'm not sure as it regards the qualifiers, but you'll need to name some type of squad, I would imagine.
You do?
I think it's mid-July that he needs to name it. which doesn't give him a lot of time for getting any potential new signings in. So the clock's ticking. Listen, it's just the apprehension in the supporter now, because we're in. There's a lot of balls getting juggled up in the air now, isn't there? So manager's got to come in. He knows he's kind of under pressure for results. He wants to win. The players that he's wanting to get, he's not able to get in the now, and all things like that. So it's not a great kind of foundation to start the season with. But you're right though. We've played at a higher level than them. I think they finished runner up to Olympiacos in the Greek league. I think you've been to Panathinaikos before as well, Southside. So it's an intimidating atmosphere out there. If we can go out there with a 2-3 goal lead, then happy days, and then hopefully we see it out. But it's just that again, I think it might have just came to it. If we don't win, guys, that I think we go into the Europa qualifiers. Is that right?
We're going to
Yeah.
we're going to a playoff
Aye.
game.
Aye.
Aye.
Just the one to qualify for the
Yep.
Europa.
Aye,
League.
but your
Aye.
seed doesn't, your seeding doesn't count in that.
Right.
So you can play anybody.
Right. Okay. Aye. It's not ideal. It's not ideal. But for Rangers, he knows the expectations. He said all the right things. It's up to him to implement it, to get his things through to the players in the style of play that he wants to play, and hopefully all the players not buy into it. I'm giving him every chance, I'll tell you that, and I'm sure you two guys are as well, and hopefully the majority of support get behind the players, the manager, the team, everything, because collectively we're some force when we get going. So we've got to give him a chance.
Aye, and that's how I'm hoping. I'm hoping, Albert, that the homework and that's been getting done in the background, and maybe we'll get maybe get 4 or 5 players in shortly that might make the difference just before that game. Hoping, and if, like I say, I think a lot of that squad that's kicking about, it wouldn't surprise me if Robin Proper turned out in that game. If he's no cut a deal and Martin's having a look at him and we need players, at the end of the day we'll need central defenders, and you've only got, as we talked about, Enciala. Balogun's away now. Proper would have expected to go away. And I suppose if he had, then you would be looking at Enciala, but the fact that he could be hanging about, and Martin will do what's best for him. I know he'll be able to change the squad again for the next game or two after that in Europe, and you might still be able to work in a deal, but I just think he'll keep players there, I think, if he thinks he's going to need them in the short term. Not to say that they'll still be there at the end of August, but
It's a dilemma, isn't it? If you're getting deals for players you want off the books, but you actually need them for this game, it's a dilemma, isn't it? What do you do? Because after the game, if you keep them and the deal goes away and you don't get through, that's a lose-lose situation. But it's one of the ones you don't know, mate. But see, like they talk about Davis Dowell and them. Davis and Dowell had good seasons last season because they played at the level they should be playing at, mate. They're first division players, mate. That's what they are. So as far as I'm concerned, they're no good enough to play for Rangers, even on a temporary basis. I wouldn't imagine they're good enough to play for Rangers. So we need to look at that as well. But we're just getting into this.
I'll fling it back at you. I'll fling it back at you quickly, right? I'll fling it back at you quickly. Ben Davis, is he not the type of player that Russell Martin's looking at? But maybe more physical, right? If he had the physicality in Ciala. But he's looking for a guy who'll pass the ball and be comfortable in the ball.
Better
and he's no all in taking guys out, heading them and all that. He's not. I think he's going to look for ball type playing centre backs. Do you know? I think so. Do you think he's looking for the guy that's going to put it in Rose head?
No, he's looking for ball playing centre backs. That's what he's definitely looking for. He's looking for better quality than Ben Davis. Ben Davis's level.
Aye, but he has got qualities that sort of playing the pass in that. I'm talking about he can pass the ball, he can be comfortable on the ball, though he's had shaky moments. He's not been tough enough and he's not been physical enough as we've seen him, but he can pass and play the ball, and I think that's what Russell Martin will be looking for.
He's not good enough, man. That's the problem. He can do it, but he's not good at it. Not good enough at it. That's the problem. So it's better quality we're looking for. We're looking for the same type of player, but better quality. So it's like Tab's a decent right back. attacking right back, but he can't defend, blah, blah, blah. And he's done a good 10 years at Rangers and played all the games. You're sitting saying, we need to up the quality now. Hopefully the boys come in as a better quality. I can't say he is, I can't say he isn't, because I've not really seen him. But this is what you're looking for. And we all know that, because we said it last season. When we bring players in, it's got to be better and we'll go it. And that's a fact, mate. This European tie is just through a wee spanner in the work because of the timing of it. It's just unfortunate. It's like that. But it's Europe. It's UEFA's crazy, stupid way of running things. And see this squad thing. I don't get this. I never have got it. That you've got maybe 30, 40 players in your books, but you can't use them. Or you need to name a squad. Why? Why? As a club, you're not get the selection of all your playing staff. You could select for any of the players. Why do we have to get them? It's like the World Cup as well. I don't get that either. No, these squads. Why do you need to have a squad? It makes sense to me. What's the reason for it? You should be able to select any player that you's on your books, mate.
Aye, I know. But I'll tell you what today, if you two guys would like to hit mute, Russell Martin spoke to Sky Sports, I believe, today. He gave a couple of wee-minute interview, so if you'd like to hit mute, we'll hear what he had to say.
Match day 4 is Celtic. Is that good to play them early? Rangers had good results recently against them, or does it really matter when you play any team?
Yeah, I'm not sure it does. I think we expect it to be early. It usually is. So, but we have a lot of games to focus on before then, and a lot of work to do before then. But of course, they're exciting games. They're special games. But as I said, we have games before that, and every game is going to be so important.
Yeah, including a European game. What's your thoughts on Panathinaikos in that draw?
Well, I think it's incredibly exciting. I think it's going to be an amazing atmosphere at Ibrox. People have said to me, it's maybe the most difficult tie we could have got. But if we want to compete in Europe, we're going to have to beat some good teams, some really good teams. So we will be ready for it. We know what we're working towards now, so we can have a good look at them. But like I've said, the work's going to be about us and making sure in the next 3 to 4 weeks that we and the players understand what it's going to take, and they're open to learning. And like I said, be ready to put in a performance that we are proud of.
So players back on Monday. What's the priorities for you then?
To work them physically and tactically, to get them to understand what we are demanding very early on, what the team's going to look like. And also, hopefully, in the next couple of weeks, to add a few players to the group. I think we're all expecting that. So it's exciting, and we have the international players coming back a week later. So we have a good bit of time to work with them.
How many ins and outs are you expecting, certainly early ahead of the European game?
I honestly don't know, but I think we'll have a few before the European game, that'll be for sure. So everyone's working extremely hard. That's what the bulk of the work has been the last week or so, is really identifying character and talent that we want in the building that can add to this group and add to us as culturally and performance, of course. And I'm excited about the people that we are starting to look at and hopefully will add.
What about departures? A lot of talk about Cyril Dessers. Is there any update you can give us on that?
No, I think the updates will come as and when they're actually real. So at the minute, I'm expecting him to return on Monday, and I'm looking forward to working with him.
What about John Souttar? Will he be ready for the European game or the opening game of the league season?
I think it's really difficult. So John wants to play for his country, and I think so many players, especially at the end of the season, get lambasted for not going away or pulling out of the international games for whatever reason. So John made a decision that he had a bit of a minor injury. He wanted to go and play. He's desperate to play for his country, which I admire. So the plan was here, everyone was aware of it, to get sorted after that. So he's had a minor op, and we expect him to be fit for the Panathinaikos game. So it hasn't really affected the preparation. He's been able to go away and play and then be ready for us.
And just finally then, how excited are you, and how hectic has it been since being appointed Rangers head coach?
Yeah, it's been everything I thought it would be. It's been intense. It's been great. The real work starts on Monday, which I'm really excited about, to get on the grass. That's what I love. I think any manager and coach loves that bit, training the players and being on the grass with them. And I'm just really excited about it all. The challenges that are going to come. And now we have to build a team that we're all really connected to and proud of and like watching.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
I suppose there, guys, he reiterated what we were sort of talking about. We'd hope to get more players in the building towards the game against Panathinaikos going forward. It's the most crucial game that we'll have at the start of the season before the league campaign kicks off. But interesting one, I thought, Albert, was John Souttar. he made the decision to go and turn it for his country and then get the minor op done. Okay, if that's the decision that he made, that's fine in his eyes. But if he's no fit for the Panathinaikos game, in my eyes, I would rather he'd went and get the op done straight away, and then he's got plenty of time to recover and get back in amongst the troops, and maybe getting some training in, if possible, depending on how long this is going to take. But big call for him.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, the big guy, you can paint it up in any angle you want, but the big guy showed where his loyalties lies with Scotland. Didn't lie with Rangers, lie with Scotland. So that's fair enough with me. So what's the opportunity we get rid of him? No good to me, mate. Absolutely no good to me. If you're not going to prioritise Rangers, well, ta-ta, cheerio. He could have went on there and it all might be fit for the game. And I've heard people say if he's fit for the game, there's no problem. Well, there is a problem because he's took the chance and went there with a minor injury that could have developed probably, maybe, don't know what injury it is, but it could have, might have probably antagonised it and made it a bigger injury. He got away with it. 2 stupid friendlies that nobody but him is interested in. Playing for a crap Scotland team with a crap Scotland manager. He's risked a multi-million-pound game for Rangers to go and play for that crap. Nah, no good enough for me, mate. He's made his mind up, and I've made my mind up on him now. He's not going to prioritise me and my team. I'm not prioritising him. Get rid of him as soon as possible.
AK?
Aye, listen, it's hard to argue with Alberta, and I'm in disbelief with John Souttar if that's his decision. Obviously, he's going to consult with the medical team and what have you. Russell Martin's saying all the right things because he's not going to throw his player under the bus, but I think secretly he's scathing with that decision. But I mean, what sort of first impression is that for the new manager coming into the building, that you might not have your right hand central defender because he chose to go away and play 2 friendlies with Scotland, one of which he didn't even play, he just sat on the bench. So what was the point of going there in the first place? You want to make a good impression on your new manager to solidify yourself into the team, and you're putting all that up in the air. Why? What are you doing that for? Who pays your wages? Sort of Rangers. Most important game, before the season actually kicks off, and you're risking that because you want to play in silly friendly games for Scotland. Nah, that's not for me. I think the majority of Rangers support will not look on that too kindly and look in John Souttar in a different light. I mean, I like the big man. He's got a lot of endeavour. He's got a lot of, he's not the most skillful guy. He's probably a backup player at most anyway, if we do get better centre halves, but at this moment in time, he's the first choice pick for that right hand centre defence, particularly with Balogun not being there. So I think it's a crazy decision with Souttar to put that and risk his Rangers career up there because he wants to go away for a jolly with Scotland. 46 weeks for the recovery for that hernia, and I think he'll be up against it because he's going to miss out in pre-season. I mean, Golson missed out in the full pre-season and then came in for Beale away to Kilmarnock, and he was terrible. That just smacks of that all over again. Crazy
it's
decision.
It's loyalty, mate. It's doing your loyalty. It's absolutely where your loyalty lies, and his loyalty lies with Scotland. He's just told you that. First opportunity. If I've got 2 games to pick, 1 or 2 games to pick, playing for Rangers, and I'll be injured after it. Play for Rangers, play for Scotland, picking Scotland. So go and play for Scotland then. Go and play for somebody else as well. Not interested interested in players like that. I'm just no interested in players. I'm not interested in Scotland, period. And I'm certainly not interested in that Rangers hating. I was going to swear there. That Rangers hating Clark. No chance, mate. Absolutely no chance. If you remember the boy, is it Jones that came to Kilmarnock when he scored against Rangers and he celebrated with that? I was going to swear again there. That's what killed him in my eyes before he even got here. He signed with Rangers and he was just playing out the season before he came to Rangers. Scored against us doing it at Kilmarnock, which he has today. That's fair enough. He's playing for Kilmarnock. But it's the celebrations after it got me running out of that Rangers hating clown as if they've won the Champions League. Nah, I don't do it, mate. If you come to Rangers, your priority is Rangers, your loyalty is Rangers, you play for Rangers. First, foremost, all the time. Rangers come first, second, third, always. They don't come second to any other thing. That's the way I look at it, mate. I'm sorry, but that's the way I look at it. I quite like Big Suter. I think he's a brilliant centre. I don't think he's a brilliant centre half, but I think he's a decent centre half. But he's loyal. He's not with us. He's told you that now.
I was surprised, if I'm honest. I thought as soon as the season finished, we'd have got yourself away. I explained it to national coach. I'm in for an operation. I want to be back fit, first of all, for my club. Listen, if he's back fit in time, fair dues, it's worked out for him. But I think, as it was put today in the way Russell Martin spoke, that it was his decision to sort of go with a minor injury and play for Scotland in 2 friendlies. And that's not for me. I think if you're carrying an injury, when it's a minor op, whatever it is he's had done, then you go and get that done first and foremost and get your recovery time sorted out. Because it is going to be a big season coming up for the club. He knows the magnitude of the club. He's been here long enough. And I think he should have put Rangers first as well, Albert. Totally. Made sure he was fit. And for us, we pay his wages.
The date for the European tie was already there. It's already in the diary. So he knows that date's there. So he's working towards that date. So he needs to maximise his recovery time. So he gets it in, he gets his operation done as soon as possible. Probably Ferguson shouldn't have played him and sent him away for it. That's another argument. But when you go he did play all the games up to the Hibs game, then you say, right, go after the Hibs game. No, I'm going to go and play with Scotland. But 2 absolutely, utterly meaningless friendlies. Total crap teams he's playing against. And a crap team with a crap manager. Don't get it, mate. No for me. No for me. To me, the big man is food in the nest.
I would have loved to have known when they actually knew that he needed to have this op in the first place, because after the Atletico Bilbao game, we had nothing games after that anyway. So he could have went actually, before the season actually ended and gave himself, extra weeks recovery and relaxation in the beach with his family and all that before, ready to start hit the ground running for pre-season, because that pre-season, as we've all seen and heard in that before, the former players, it's vital to get you through the rest of the league campaign. When Jock Wallace's team hitting the Ghislaine Sands, that was vital for their fitness for the entire season, and they knew that, to be in prime condition before a ball was even kicked. Now he's sitting in a hospital bed. He's got his feet up. He's no running. He's no doing weights. He's no getting his core strength up the way it should be. Connor Goldson, as I say, going back a couple of years ago when they started against Kilmarnock for Beale, hadn't played a pre-season game, and it showed. I think it's just pure stupidity with Suter. I really do. Very disappointed in him.
Aye, well, he's certainly sit there now, and we all know
he's
made his choice. Aye,
he's made his choice, mate. He's picked. I'm making my choice now. He's made his. I'm making mine.
That's true. I thought I'd said before that I thought he had potential. If he'd stayed at Rangers and he's been playing well, he might have been a future captain of the club. In my eyes, Albert, I thought he could have been. But I just think he's just been a bit daft. But listen, it's up to him. I suppose if you're going to sell him, people look at it on the other way, that he's got caps for his country, and obviously you get that puts your price up slightly in people's eyes. But for me, nah, he's put Scotland first. I agree with you 2 guys. He's put Scotland first before Rangers. But if it works out for him and he's fit and he's back, then fair enough. But it's still, I think he should have went earlier. As soon as the season finished, or as usually explained, he could have went before the end of the season and got the operation done and been back in perfect time. Talking about perfect timing, if you 2 guys would like to hit mute, I believe it's tune time. So we'll hear what I've got in store this evening.
Sure, I was dreaming of old Ibrox, of her slopes and great grandstands, and I dreamed about the Rangers, the best team in the land. When my memory suggested of a vision bright and clear, of the strange things that would happen if we had the Rangers here. Now if the road to Ibrox Park way up the Shankill, and Brian Laudrup came from Sandy Road, and Alistair Price came from East Belfast, and old Belfast became then old Glasgow. If the Rangers met the Celtic up at Windsor, sure no green flags at that game they would appear. Ulster's sons would never roll, and all the boys would stay at home if we only had the Rangers over here. I dreamed about her Ulster men who wore the shirt of blue, Bertie Manderton, Sam English, Laurie Hamilton, McCandless too. I have dreamed of Whitey McDonald, who came from Lisburn town, and the greatest Billy Simpson, who never let them down. Now if the road to Ibrox Park way up the Shankill, and Brian Laudrup came from Sandy Road, and Ali McCoyce came from East Belfast, and then old Belfast became old Glasgow. Met the Celtic up at Windsor, then no green flags at that game they would appear. Ulster's sons would never roam, all the boys would stay at home if we only had the Rangers over here. If we only had Glasgow Rangers over here.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Hey, old bear, do you like that one?
Oh, aye. I was definitely singing away there, mate.
Yeah.
I'm just kicking my John Suter doll up and down the hall.
I was just thinking, Kate, we were out a couple of weeks ago in the big game and we popped into this well-known Rangers boozer, right? Just passing by and we thought we'd nick in for a quick jar, and Albert tell him what song was on, not the pub, but what song was playing.
My favourite one.
Ibrox.
No, what is it, Sonny? Oh, Southside, what is it?
It was Ibrox Only it was on when you first walked in.
I thought
So it was.
The Belfast one.
Oh, aye.
That last one with
Londonderry on the foil, aye, we heard that. Oh, aye.
Londonderry on the
That's
foil.
Denver's song, isn't it? If we only had the Rangers over here.
Aye. Right. What we go to now? What do you think, John? Right, I'll let you go. We'll let you go first, Albert. £3,000. £3,000 we've been fined for the comments. So should we pay it or should we appeal it and see what happens for a laugh? What do you think?
Oh, I don't think we should pay it. Not at all, mate. I think I like the fact that they've done it when these new owners are in early doors. so that they know they can see what they're up against. But I like the response for the club as well, saying that we're not sitting back taking any of this crap anymore. We've been sitting taking it for years. We're not doing it anymore. But should we pay it? No, absolutely not. Take it as far as we can take it. I would even take it into court if we could take it into court. I don't know if you can. I think that's against the rules. They made a ruling you can't take things out of the football circles. But no, I wouldn't fight. I wouldn't pay it, mate. Absolutely not. I don't care what they say and what they do. Other clubs have been doing it for years. A lot worse, saying a lot worse, and doing a lot worse. Yeah, it's Rangers that get fined. If that doesn't tell you there's a double standard, what does it tell you? It's unbelievable, unbelievable. And John Brown's right. He's totally and utterly right. He's called it, seen it, and said what he says. I don't think there's a Rangers fan out there that disagrees with the man. Just sitting saying it's a goal. Everybody sees it's a goal, and then they come out with this crap, and then you call them coming out saying, "Oh no, it's inconclusive." Absolute garbage, mate. Absolute. The only inconclusive for Walsh and him. Everybody else sees it's a goal. Everybody is a goal. But there you go. No, I wouldn't fight it, mate. I'd fight them all the way. As far as we could take it, I would take it.
Oh, you were talking about, I had to watch that thing. We were talking about that. I couldn't believe what he was coming out with. Colin, there was no conclusive evidence and whatnot. The ball was over the line. It doesn't matter what conclusive evidence you need. The ball was over the line, and I just thought, nah, they're pulling this one again. We need conclusive evidence after the last two debatable ones that they've mentioned, that they were using that as a form. But listen, everybody saw it. AK, the ball was over the line. John Brown called it out for what it was, and now we have to pay a $3,000 fine.
It's scandalous, mate. There's no two ways about it. It's absolutely scandalous. John Brown called it. Tom Miller gave him a chance to retract it, and he said, "No, I'm not retracting it. That's corruption. That's open corruption, and we see it with our own eyes." And the good thing about that, the Willie Collum show, he spoke a lot of that guff. Again, it's no conclusive. But you heard Nick Walsh, who was about 5-6 yards away from it, saying, "Nah, I don't see it. I don't see it. Clear sight of the ball. It rippled the side netting. It hit the inside of the post, rippled the side netting before the big boy cleared it." And then what happens, of course, the goal. Couldn't he get it quick enough? Couldn't he? No. But it should never have been a goal. That should have been Raskin's goal. He knew it. He turned away in celebration. And But the SFA panel, they had a panel of 5 members, and 4 of the members agreed with John Brown that it was a goal. Who was the other member that didn't agree? Willie Collum. It's a joke. It really is. But I tell you, they've opened a can of worms here. A big can of worms, because they've had, previous fan channels with Tom Boyd, Peter Grant, Irvin Welsh, saying that Morelos should be cut up into 4 corners of the earth, and nothing happened there, nothing happened with Boyd or that. Even the Celtic manager said that John Beaton was a cheat, and he got a 1-match ban. So there is a precedence here. The guy's getting off with leniency, and they've tried to make an example. I mean, £3,000, the money's immaterial. I think the Rangers support would pay that if need be, but no, take this up and fight it, and get a dossier with all the open corruption what's happened. Even the I don't know if you've seen it as well, guys. The SPFL have made a rule that, see, your opening qualifying game, you're allowed to postpone the game up until that. But when did they decide this? Because Celtic are having to qualify now rather than go straight into group stages. So Rangers were allowed to qualify this year if we get, I think, by Panathinaikos or the second leg with Panathinaikos, we've got a chance to postpone our game at St Mirren. Where was that in the years before, when Celtic weren't getting straight into the Champions League because our coefficient points? You know what I mean? So they're starting to make all sorts of rules up. We know what's going on, and honestly, I think we should fight it myself.
It would be fun, Rangers come out with a worded statement, quite lengthy, and said they'll be keeping their eye on the ball from now on going forward. But I just think John Brown probably spoke for the whole support, what he was witnessing, and what everybody else witnessed seeing it, and then just the shambolic excuse for not getting the goal and try to justify it. I just thought just makes it even worse. But at the end of the day, we know what we're off against. We're not against it for a long time, and we just need to make sure going forward. I'm sure the club will be right on top of it, but I don't personally hear anything or see anything for other fans' channels, but I believe it's went on, and the Irvin Welsh one, I do believe that caused a bit of stir, didn't it? He's not a paid employee for Hibs, but he turned up on their channel and still commented about Alfie, and probably get paid a fee to even go that day, possibly. So it is what it is, but I don't know. I think we'll probably pay it. I think going forward, and I think then for then on, I think they'll just monitor it, and I'm sure they will be monitored. They'll be more closely now going forward, since they've decided to hammer us with a fine.
See what I was talking earlier on about the FFP just ignoring the rules and taking the fine? That's what they're doing. They're ignoring their own rules, mate. They know they can do what they want, and nothing's ever going to come out. Because of the placement, men are all in there. They're all backing each other up. So it's totally corrupt right through it. It's from top to bottom, mate. There is no fairness in it. There's no following the rules, and look, it's a level playing field for everybody. There isn't any of that, mate. They're just blatantly cheating now. Absolutely. They've been doing it for years, mate. It's not nothing new. We've been doing it for years. We know we're getting refereed to a different standard for years and years and years. Yeah, it's the mob across the city that keeps going out with, oh, it's no fair. Referees are biased against us. They win everything, but referees are biased against us. We've been saying it for 50 years, mate. That idiot McNeil, before they buried him, was on about it and on about it and on about it. Oh, it's all cheating, it's all cheating. Going, well, how come we keep winning all these trophies? It's the worst conspiracy theory, conspiracy against you in the world, by the way, because you keep on winning. So you can't be right, can you? You can't have it both ways. You can't be, oh, they're all against me, but I keep winning anyway. But they'll tell you, we should have won more. What, every trophy, like you told me, should have won every trophy that you've ever played for. It's nonsense, mate. It's just nonsense. We're all sick of it. We're absolutely sick of it. I'll call it out when Rangers get a dodgy decision. We all do. Don't think that was a penalty. Oh, that kind of that was a bit soft of that. Oof, you used to get booked for that. But you never hear any of them saying any of that. there isn't a fair bone in their body, mate. It's crazy. It's totally and utterly crazy. Then you get Fat Doncaster running about with £400,000 for doing what? For doing what? For washing Lywell's ring piece, basically. Anyway.
I was going to say, we'll come on to the fixtures, AK. Obviously, they come out, we're away to Motherwell, and then we're at home to Dundee, and then we're away to St Mirren, who just that season there was a sort of bogey team, and then we're at home to them at Ibrox. So the first four fixtures, Motherwell away, St Mirren away, Dundee at home, and that mob across the city at home. No bad start. I think the last time we played Motherwell away in the game was 17-18 season. I think was the last time we started a campaign against them. Used to always go to Kilmarnock, I think.
There's been a few, hasn't there? I mean, we've been away to Aberdeen, we've been away to Hearts, been away to Kilmarnock opening day of the season. It's vital we get after a good start. Obviously, Russell Martin has he knows their new manager probably better than they know their new manager. I think he played with him at Norwich as well, so I think they've swapped some texts and what have you, a wee bit of kind of digging and what have you. But we're under no illusion. He knows what he's up against, and we expect no less than to come away with Fir Park with 3 points, because we've got to get after that good start we're looking for. The last couple of seasons, we've came unstuck and we fell behind, and we've put ourselves under pressure. But that St Mirren game is what I mentioned there. So I said, Albert, do you think we'll take advantage of the new rule and postpone that game to give a week in between the Panathinaikos games?
The Panathinaikos games will be well played before them. I don't know. I think the rule was you could only postpone one game. I think it was meant to be one of your qualifiers at the start. I think. I'm not sure. But listen, it shouldn't matter. We play Motherwell away. We're at home to Dundee. Motherwell are in transition. Their manager left. New guys come in, as you have said. I think Russell Martin played well at Norwich. So we don't know what they'll be like. In Dundee, put Stephen Presley in, so that's surely a bonus. Obviously, they've lost their manager and lost a lot of players, I think. So they 2 games for us start kicking off the season. Although we're putting a team together, I'd like to think that they 2 games before we go to St Mirren, used to be Love Street's not anymore, but before we go to St Mirren and then play them, Albert, they're 2 teams with new managers as well.
I mean, they're in a flux as well. Half of Scottish football's in a flux, let's be honest with it. But there's no reason, good reason, put it that way, that we can't win the opening game to start with. So you start with 1 game at a time. It's the old cliche, innit? You just got to go that way. I've seen some people go right through the whole season and you're thinking, well, ahead of yourselves, come on. Let's get back to where we are. We're actually, I mean, the Panathinaikos game is our first competitive game of the season. So you've got that, then you've got, I think you've got a league game, and then you've got them again. Is that right? Is that right? I think that's right.
No, we'll play. No. We play home and away. It's home and away, and then we play Motherwell on the 2nd of August.
Aye, that's what it is. So it's so you're playing them first. So we can win the first game of the season. No, I'm more interested in winning the first game of the season and run Europe. To be honest with you, mate, I want the league. It's the league's everything to me this season. It is as it is every season, but definitely this season. I want it this season. I don't want any more excuses. We've got to have to get settled. It's going to be bumps in the road. It's not going to be pretty at times. We're going to scratch our head and wonder what's going on. But it's one of the cases we need to stick with it and see what the outcome's going to be. But definitely we need to win that game, that first game, just to show we're meaning business this season. Because I'm sick of getting into every season, and after the first day of the season, you're behind. First day of the season, you're behind. It's happened season after season after season. Sick of it, mate. It's got to change. Got to break this mould. Let us get back into a competitive mode, a proper competitive mode. Don't want to go through a season like last season, the last 5 games, totally, utterly meaningless games. Out the Scottish Cup to Queen's Park. Christ's sake, man. It's crazy, mate. Crazy. League Cup, watching them with one of their placement men in the bar box. Just basically cheating, mate. Just basically cheating. There you go again. That's why we call it John Brown called it out as well. It's all part and parcel of the one thing, mate. It's got to be sorted out. But we've got to do our bit, mate, and win the games. Definitely got to start winning these games. First game especially.
Aye, I had a wee look through. The fixtures, like I said, Motherwell, Dundee, St Mirren, and then them. And then obviously we've got the 2 games in September only. Must be, I think, Scotland's playing the World Cup qualifiers or something. Just at home to Hearts and away to Livingston. So we're only playing 2 games in September. And then we're into October. And looking at them, I think we're actually, they're no bad the way they sort of come in. So if you're looking even at our first 5 away games, we'll be away to Motherwell, away to St Mirren, away to Livingston, away to Falkirk, and then on October away to Hibs. The rest of the games are at home, and then obviously it gets a wee bit by the time we get to December. But I'm looking at the league campaign at the moment, and apart from having maybe tricky European fixtures in between certain games, I'd like to think that through August and September we'll win every game. That'll be the 6 games, and I'd like to think we'll win every one of them, and that should kickstart our season. And then we hopefully just progress from there. But even though we're going through a transition, I think, like we spoke about, Motherwell away should be good enough. Hibs, Dundee at home should be 3 points. St Mirren might be the tricky one, but listen, we shouldn't even be thinking it's tricky. We've made it tricky for ourselves in the past, AK. That should be a formality. We should be going to St Mirren and winning.
Oh, 100%, mate. I mean, it's no us you need to convince. It's not the support. We've got the mindset, because that's what we're brought up on, the expecting level. But it's Russell Martin that's got to get it through to the players, and that's where we've come unstuck. Obviously, Igaman and Diamondi and the Cortez and whatever coming in, you know, they were kind of happy, shall we say, with some games where an away draw is kind of acceptable. No, it's not acceptable. So that's the mindset that you've got to transfer onto these players. Russell Martin, that's his job to do that, and his coaching staff. That's why we brought in the likes of Barry and Griggsy and Neil McCann, Billy Dodds, to try and, you know, get that message across. But even they couldn't do it, you know. So it's all about these players now, mate. We're sick, fed up saying it, as Albert says. But it's unacceptable dropping points, and we did drop points in Fir Park last year and St Mirren last year. So these are massive games mentally, if anything else, than, you know, putting a marker down on them to let them know we're going to be reused the entire season, and we need to exert some pressure onto them and force them to slip up. And that's what we've not been good at the last couple of years. So there's a big change that needed to be done. I think we all accept that. But at the end of the day, it's up to the players that cross that white line to implement what Russell Martin's ideas is, to get the 3 points and come back with, you know, wins at St Mirren, at Motherwell, at Easter Road, at Tynecastle, at Pittodrie. It's up to them to do that. So they've got a lot to, you know, show to us and the manager that they're capable of doing that. And if they're not, we'll get players in that are capable of doing that and having that winning mentality.
That's the one thing we need to get installed into the team and the squad. When you look through some of the players, do you think Albert, because we've watched him, he's been at Livingston, because he tells he's a Livingston player, do you think he's got a chance of competing this year, Robbie Fraser?
No, not as a short answer, mate. It's what I've seen him is he's nowhere near. Well, put it this way: if Martin's going to build this team the way he said he's going to build the team and play the style of football he wants to play, no, I don't see Robbie Fraser fitting in. I don't even see Bailey Rice fitting in, to be honest with you, mate. The boy Curtis, he might have a chance. Mate. But I don't see McCausland fitting in either. They're no mobile enough, mate, and they're no technical enough. Rice can fire a nice pass about, which is great and which is required, but he's no mobile enough. He needs to get some speed. He needs to get some energy about him. I don't know if he can do it. I don't know. Technically, he's probably good enough, but physically, he's got the stature right enough, but he's not going to be. He doesn't move right for me, mate. So for what he's going to be looking for, put it that way, he's got to take the ball in really tight areas as well, and not just be comfortable with that. He's got to actually manage to get away from a man, because if you watch that type of football, you've got to. Thing we play at Barcelona play it and PSG play it. They players take their position, they take that ball in their tight positions, but they actually turn and beat a player, or the half turn, the dummy, they do something, they do a trick to beat somebody to open the space up. So you're talking about Rice. I don't see Rice doing that. I don't see McCausland doing it, and I don't see Fraser robust enough and technical enough to go up that part and deliver decent crosses, or decent passes, which is going to be required. A pity, mate, but I don't. I'd like to say aye. I'd like to say, oh, aye, they're going to make it, but I don't see it. And I hope they come out and prove me wrong. You want them all to come out and prove you wrong, because that's what he's saying. You never know when you get them in for preseason. There's always somebody, at least one. It surprises you. So it might be Fraser, it might be Rice, it might be. You never know. You never know, mate. I hope they do prove me wrong, because if they do prove me wrong, it means they're playing well for Rangers and winning games. But the Motherwell game, we lost points there last season, Alec, for one reason and one reason only. We've got a stinking keeper. And it was him that caused it, mate. So that's the reason we're losing points out there last season, along with other games that he's played. So he is still a big main problem that needs to be solved. I know we don't want to go into that at the moment, but he needs to be resolved. That problem needs to be resolved. because he can't play a Martin style of football, as far as I'm led to believe.
Aye, Bill, he's there. He's got a chance. It'll be down to Russell Martin to decide. Same with Bailey Rice, same with Finlay Curtis, Enciala, Paul Miso, any of the ones are the ones that he might promote up to the squad, and it's down to them to take their chance. And he'll have a way of playing, and he wants them to run about, and he wants energy, and he wants the good pass of the ball and that. And can you take the ball in tight spaces and whatnot, and runners off people? So it'll be interesting, I'm just looking forward to it and hope that a few of the boys will get carried this year and maybe go on and have a career. Bailey's certainly got a wide range of passing, but he's not really shown. He's only done it in the St Mirren game away from him. He hit 2 that we used to watch him do in the B team. But no, I'm hoping that they've all got a fresh, clean slate, like you said earlier, AK. So it's down to them to try and step up to the mark.
Aye, of course it is. The player I'm looking forward to seeing it in a Rangers jersey is young Lyle Cameron. For me, I think he could be a good gene. I think he could be the advanced midfielder we're looking to break beyond the forward line and get into the box and be that kind of scoring midfielder that we've been so badly needing. I know Raskin was unleashed towards the end of the season, and he did fill that role really well, and he was comfortable in it. So it's down to the style of play, the formation and stuff. But as you said earlier, it's your fitness levels has really got to be up to speed. And if Bailey Rice wants to have a career long term with Rangers, and I think he's really got to work on his fitness and his kind of numbers and shutting down, and that's not his game, but he'll need to make it his game. And going back to your point, Albert, I'm amazed that we're not even considering the likes of Butland to be leaving the now, because for what I gather, he likes his keeper to be like a sweeper keeper and play with his feet out for the back and be comfortable on the ball, and that's everything that Butland isn't. So we know the errors that he's made in the last year. You need speedy defenders, obviously, for tracking back as well. You're going to have a front line with a lot of work rate to shut down people, and I think that's where Dessers is getting question marks off of a lot of the support with Russell Martin's method as well. So there's a lot of question marks there. Tick boxes exercises needing to get done for the players that he wants and he needs to implement his system, but he's got to work with what he has done now. Before he gets the opportunity to get his own players in, and he really needs his own players, because this squad of players that we've got now is just it's broken toys all the way back for Gerrard to Gio to Beale to Clement, to what we have now. So we've got a team of broken toys, and we really need to get them fixed and proper and quick smart up to the style of play that Russell Martin wants us to be playing. And it's not going to be easy.
The only young boy I see making it is Salah. It might change, but that's the only one I'm quite confident will make it.
Are you meaning just in the immediate short term? Maybe Bailey or Finlay Curtis or somebody else might, or Robbie Fraser or whatever. Somebody, they might take a wee bit longer, you think, but you think maybe he might be the quicker one out. The ones that we've been speaking about.
I think for the get-go, he'll have a big part to play. And so I think he'll use them right away, mate. No hesitation, he'll use them right away. Definitely. Whereas the other ones, at the moment, the stage that I seen them at, he might see it different. He might think, I see something in you that if you play you there or you do this, you do that, you'll come on, you'll start developing. But at the moment, the only one I see it could walk into a team is in Salah. Lack of experience, of course, but as we say, the only way you get experience is play.
Aye, it's been my argument all the time. If you use Jeffy, for instance, like we spoke about, even towards the end of the season when he was caught out and no playing so well and had dropped a batter for him, if that had been one of the young boys, if that had been Robbie Fraser been getting his chance in the Rangers jersey, he'd have been out ages ago. Because that's what happens. They just out them straight out the team. But because you paid money for Yefty and he's Brazilian, but he lacks the experience, he's not played at this level, and saw a lot of big games in the magnitude of games from him. It was last season, and he done well, and he probably would be mentally and physically tired at some point in that season, the amount of games he played. But he got exposed to that, whereas sometimes we'll not expose our own players to that in the B team. Robbie Fraser's 22, he's even older than Yefty. And yet we didn't expose him to it. We went and got Yefty and brought him in, but when he was off the boil, he still get played every week. AK, and then the young boys don't, they get took out straight away.
Because they're not good enough, mate.
Aye, well, there is that. McCausland isn't good enough to fill the role, for example, with Cherny being there. I mean, is Cortez going to be that guy now? I don't know. It's certainly that's a big gaping hole in our front line with the goal contributions and assists that Cherny had there. So we're going to have to fill that role some way.
The boy we were getting, the boy we were getting linked with, Poku. I think he might have been a good addition, but seemingly there's a lot of people looking for him.
Aye, sounds an exciting player, doesn't he? You know you're talking about him.
I used to watch the EPL highlight, English League highlights and all that, and he done quite well. You know, he was always involved at Peterborough. That's the one thing about Peterborough; they seem to find strikers and wingers. Sam Smodics was there a couple of seasons ago, and he's now went to Blackburn, I think, or maybe get a move after that. I think you get a move after that. To me, he went to Ipswich. Actually, he's at Ipswich. I think you get a move for there to Ipswich. So he was at Peterborough and done well. Poco's now come in.
Ivan Toney as well.
Ivan Toney, Johnston Clark Harris was there, scored a lot of goals after Ivan Toney left. So they seem to produce a lot of forward-thinking players, and they seem to rack up the numbers, and they all seem to move on. I know we've been looking at them, and it excited me a wee bit, Albert, if we could have got him in.
I mean, for all accounts, if you get him, it's a wee bit of a coup. It's because there is a lot of people looking at him. But I've not seen him, so again, I can't pass comment on him. But a lot of people saying he is a talented boy, a really talented boy. And his numbers seem to be good at Peterborough. But there you go. If you're good enough, no, I mean, what age is he? 24, something like that? 22, 24, something
22,
like that.
22.
22. There you go. So you look at our boys and say, how you know as good as that? It's just simple. They're not as good as these boys. They've got a certain amount of talent, but they're no. I mean, look, with Robbie, he's playing with Livingston, and I'm saying to myself, right, if you want to truly press the Rangers team and press Jeffy for his position, you should be the star man in that Livingston team. But he's not. He's all right. He's no rubbish or anything. I'm not saying he's a crap player by any stretch of the imagination, but he's not the star player in that team. He's no a stick out. He's not one of the guys you go, oh, aye, he's
done well, but
a Rangers player. Oh, he's done well. He's done well, mate. But he's no the player that you're saying, oh, he'll walk straight into that Rangers team. Walk straight in. He's not. It's just a shame, but that's the facts of life, mate. It's just, you're good enough, you're good enough. You're not good enough, you're not good enough. As the old saying goes, you can't put in, but God left it.
Aye, I'm just hoping some of the players can step up and eventually might give them a chance, and they'll have a system and a style, and they'll all get to know it, and maybe one or two might surprises, like even Conor Barron, who struggled to get in and out the team. Bizrami sort of struggled a bit this year. I was looking for a lot more off Bizrami.
Welcome to Gift Gaspar.
I was looking for a lot more off him, but at the end of the day, he's not produced the numbers that I thought he would. But he's another one that might want to stay about, or maybe Russell Martin might like him, and he might find a position for him in the team that it works effectively. AK.
Sorry, mate, I lost you there. Who was that you were?
Bizrami. Nadim Bizrami.
I don't know. Toss a coin for me. He wasn't overly impressive. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, there was a couple of all-firm games where he did really well. He scored a cracking goal up at Aberdeen as well. But I'm expecting a player for Serie A, International Albania, to come in and be more proactive, productive than what he was. So I don't know if there's an opportunity there to sell him and, you know, recycle the money back into the team or no, or where he's going to be the other one digging his heels for his pay or what. But if he has got a future, well, he needs to show more than what he's been showing for me.
I agree. I thought he contributed a lot more goals and assists, to be honest, but and he played quite a few games last year. So his form just wasn't as good as I thought. But if he stays and nobody comes in for him, I'd like to think he might flourish a wee bit more in this sort of team going forward, because we all have a set style of play, and I think he's willing to work and run. So that will certainly give him a start in a Russell Martin team, Albert. So I think maybe we might get a better chance to see him next year, and might see the benefit of him. This Monday coming, Albert, we've got the EGM, see the new board, to get the resolutions passed for the share issue, which I'd imagine most of it will be underwritten already.
Right.
So I think maybe that's another wee thing why maybe we've no splashed any cash yet. We're waiting until we get Monday ratified, and obviously you'll know by the mid-afternoon or whatever. Usually they'll tell you if the votes are passed, and then it'll be all systems go, I would imagine.
Well, all the work Thywell's been putting in prior to coming, he said that Everton allowed him time to work on the Rangers job before he actually started at Ibrox. All that time that's been working in the background along with Patrick Stewart is to get the manager in. Everybody's forgetting that. Hell of a lot of work went in to get the manager in. It's got to be the right person. It's got to be what fits what they're looking for. Know what I mean? Again, the right philosophy, as it were. So that's what took up most of that time. I don't think they're going to rush at all for players. They're going to do it steadily, and they're going to do it right, and they're going to give themselves the biggest chance to get these players to settle into Ibrox and make them a success. So the hit rate is going to have to go up to the high 80s, mate, rather than the low 70s. I don't even think it is the low 70s. I think it's even less than that for us. That has to stop, mate. And this is what it's all about. So take their time. Don't panic because there's European ties. Don't panic because we've not got enough time to work with players. Don't panic because we can't sell players. Just, it's a steady nerves at the moment, mate, and you systematically work your way through it. Clear up with the manager what he's looking for. He's wanting to look at these players. You've got to take that into consideration as well. I want to look at these players in the flesh, in training. That's what Martin's basically saying to them. Before you go mental and sell anybody, let me have a look at them. If offers come in, fair enough. Like Dessers, fair enough. Talk to the clubs. But I think he'll be more pleased that he's actually getting a look at Dessers in the flesh before he goes anywhere. Because I dare say he's got I don't know if he's got the final say, but he'll definitely have a say. Whether it's oh, don't let him go yet. I can use him. He's a vital cog to the wheel. You know what I mean? We're going to actually go out and try and buy somebody at triple the price of this boy, and this boy's going to be perfect for the role. So don't go waste money where you don't have to waste money. It's a lot of tape, mate. It's not just a case of, oh, let's just start signing players and get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of players in. But we need players. We need better quality players. There's no doubt about that. But it's got to be done right. It's got to be done in a considered manner. And I think that's what they're doing now. I think it's a process. It's frustrating for all us. It's we're all sitting waiting for signings and get the excitement going. I'd rather have it this way and get it right than the other way and start these so-called marquee signings and it's just garbage we get in and you're sitting going, oh, here we go again. Get to December and you're talking to players like you talk about Barami going on. I mean, the guy's a quality player, there's no doubt about it. He's just not doing it for us. I don't think he's interested in playing in Scotland either. I think that's one of his big problems. But you can see the boys get quality. He has definitely got quality, but he's not producing it for Rangers. Unlike Cherny, who did produce it. So there you go. It's going to take time, mate. And as we said earlier on in the programme, we're going to, in my opinion, we'll be still trading it right up to September, mate. Right up to September.
Don't mind that as long as we're winning.
No, that's it, mate. I don't care.
You know?
It's winning is the thing. It's winning is the thing.
I think it'll be I was coming to AK. Do you think it'll be a formality Monday, the shareholders meeting? just ratifying the resolutions, AK, and the share issue will get done, and I think there's another 1 or 2 resolutions in it. I've not actually read it yet, but we'll see come Monday.
Aye, it's basically a meet and greet. That's how I see it. The 49ers have come in and they've slapped their intentions on the table. They're obviously looking for a share issue as well, but that's above and beyond the £20 million. That's no the shareholders are raising £20 million between them. Whatever they raise, that's mere income, and that they're going to be able to afford, elsewhere in the football club for transfers or wages, or just distribute it how they like, improvements in the stadium and such like. It's not as if that the shareholders are raising that £20 million themselves. The 49ers have gave £20 million for like running costs now, and that'll get approved, no problem. But it's a meet and greet. It's a chance for them to give their views over and present themselves to the shareholders. I would like to think that Russell Martin will be there as well, and give his ideas and introduce himself to the shareholders as well, because it's important to have that relationship in the club. That this is your kind of money men that you're dealing with, as well as the support. It's just a small section of support, but the guys have put a lot of money into the club, as has a lot of us, whatever we can afford, whether it be season tickets, merchandise, managers, whatever. But it's there for it, isn't it? It's getting a first impression, so to speak, and a chance to see them in the flesh. And I don't know whether they'll take any questions or anything off the floor, or maybe they'll keep that for the AGM. But it's important that they've got to follow the right protocols. Any changes that they want made in constitutions and things like that, they've got to get it ratified with the shareholders. So it's ticking boxes, and let's get on with the rest of the season. This is going to be our ideas, and let's hope they're successful.
Aye, 100%. Got to back them with their ideas, and hope that the players, the recruitment, it's always vital, and we keep saying it on here. You've got to get the right type of player. We've switched too many managers in the last number of years. It's unbelievable the amount of managers that we went through and put in and ripped it up, started again, ripped it up, started again. So I just think we'll go on Monday, Albert, and we'll probably everyone will get ratified. I don't know, as AK says, I don't know if we'll get to ask questions, but it might just be a case of the resolution's done, passed, they'll do speeches, and then it'll probably be time to go, and we'll see them at the AGM.
That's it, mate. It's just as I say, meet and greet. Just to put a face to a name. Basically, meet them in the flesh, see what they're going to say. As long as there's no big, wild, crazy promises coming out, and they don't appear to me with that type of people. Big, stupid, daft, we're going to do this type things. We know what we need to do. Let's go on with what we need to do. Then we'll see what it takes. So I'm quite happy if they come in with a conservative type of view on things and say steady, do things right. Nothing flashy, nothing, no stupidity getting spoke. Sometimes people come out with the craziest things, and you're saying, "Oh, just be quiet, just don't say it." Like Clement made a rod for his end back, saying, "Oh, wait, give 6 months and you'll see it's different." Don't get me wrong. Somebody, I don't know if it's Martin, but somebody saying, wait 3 months and you'll start to see the difference in the team. No. Don't get doing that. No, just making a rod for your end back. You're just getting the idiot tabloids to all sit there and line up and go, we'll see what happens. And then if you waver a bit, they just attack you. They don't take them much to attack us anyway. They just attack us all the time. Good news turns into bad news all of a sudden. You know what I mean? Let's Suter there. Great news. We're getting players in all of a sudden. The thing comes out about Suter. You're going, oh, how long have you held that back for? At least 2 or 3 weeks, waiting for the good news so we can hit you with the bad news. But that sort of thing, I hope they're just nice and steady. Introduce themselves. Give you a sort of broad brushstrokes of what's happening, and that'll do me, mate. I'm quite happy with that for the time being. Let's see what we're doing in the next few weeks.
Talking about sad news, I'll just say it tonight. He's well known throughout the Rangers support. He was a wee legend, George. He used to sell the Rangers fanzine. Passed away after a long illness. He was well known throughout the Rangers support. A lot of people contributed to the fanzines. Used to stand outside Ibrox, and he used to also be in as a voice centre up the town. He stood there proudly selling the Rangers fanzine. So thoughts are with all George's family and friends. One was a legend, to be honest. On another note, listen, we're hoping that we'll get players into the squad, as we've talked about. It's something to look forward to. We know there's going to be money made available. Any player sales will go into that kitty, I would imagine. And I think we've got to front load a bit in the players that we want, that we know that we want to come. And if we go and get them, I think probably after Monday when this EGM's ratified and everything's done and dusted, then I think you might see things moving going forward. But I think between the two of us, we reckon we'd like to see before, as early as we could, we'd like to see between 8 and 9 players coming in the door easily. Would we all agree on that, AK?
In an ideal world, aye. And it's all starters that we're looking for. It's no squad players, squad fillers. It's guys who are good enough to start. And that's us in an ideal world. But will we get that? This is going to be the big question. It goes back to how we started the show with Holbeer, because guys are going to sit there and take their money. But we're not alone in that. It happens all around the world. You know, even like, say, Marcus Rashford getting shipped out Man United, the wages that he's on, he's going to go back there. He's not got a future there. So he's just going to sit on it. Gareth Bale done it with Real Madrid, so did Eden Hazard. There's more money in football than it's ever been, but there's also more money going out of football because of the wages that all the players is on. It's mental, absolutely crazy. I don't know how we solve it. All the years ago with the Jean-Marc Bosman thing that completely turned everything round about. But even now, though, we're kind of getting back to the days when Chelsea are signing players on 8-year contracts and things. I don't know what the answer is, guys, but we've certainly been stung in the last few years where we've put players on too high a contract, too lengthy a contract to scare our prospective buyers, and we're kind of stuck with them. And we're no cashing in when we should have cashed in. We like say Morelos at the time, 16.5 million. He was scoring for fun in Europe. We thought we could get more. We held on to him. They didn't come back. Nobody else come back, and end up waiting for nothing. With the same with Ryan Kent, with the same Tavernier still there, Lundstrom left for nothing, Hadji. We've had too many players like that, and we've financially crippled ourselves that way. But the players, they've got a lot to answer for as far as we're concerned, because the effort and endeavour, trophy-wise, is no good enough for what we're paying them, nowhere near it. And we want success, we're desperate for success, but we want to be run properly, and I think that's where the professionalism of the 49ers enterprise is going to come in, and hopefully run them better than what we were run before.
Aye, well, obviously, when you look at this, when we're talking about shares and stuff, you're wondering what will happen. I know they had a meeting last week, 1872, with the CEO and stuff, a chat with him, but you'll be wondering what will happen with their shareholding going forward. Have they got a part to play in the club going forward? Will they get people maybe to go into it? Or as we've talked about, and Knox has mentioned it many times, about the things that he doesn't agree with in it, about your shares and stuff, and how you can't get them back or take them out. So do you think 1872 should be worried a bit about their shareholding, Albert?
No, their shareholding. What they should be worrying about is their influence in the club, because I don't think they've got any influence in the club. The crap that we're talking there the other week about, we had a good meeting and we've all agreed in principle the way forward that we can actually have a say in. What say do you want? You can't go on the board, mate. They've not got enough shares to get them on the board. And besides, they're not an executive board. They might be on the football board. But even then, there's confidentiality and all that to come into all that. They can't say anything. It's a complete and utter waste of time. All it was meant to be, 1872, was to make sure the club didn't fall in the wrong hands. Well, now they've got an owner who's got 51%. So it's already failed because the 49ers are holding 51 of the consortium is holding 51% of the club. So it's pointless. 1872 is pointless, completely pointless. There is no voice there. There is no. They don't even produce minutes or even a newsletter for their own members, as I'm led to believe. So, what are they there for, mate? They were originally set up for that very reason, so to protect the club, because Dave King was wanting to sell them his shares, if you remember, because he was the first or second largest shareholder in the club. So he was going. If they raised enough money, that they got his shares, which they gave them a big base to work for. But again, they've no got. I think it's 5% or something they've got. I'm not quite sure the percentage, mate. So they're pointless. They've not got a voice, mate. They're as much a voice as any single supporter in the club, as far as I'm concerned, or any even small shareholder like us. There's nothing, mate. Nothing. They're not in any danger of losing their shares or anything like that. But they're in no danger of getting listened to.
Feel the same, AK busted flush now, maybe.
Aye, pretty much. Albert summed that up fine. I don't. I mean, what are they going to do? I mean, what were they hoping to do? To get a seat round the table with the directors on the board? Nah, that ship sailed. As you said there, that you had the opportunity there to buy out Dave King. That's what he wanted to do. He wanted his £13 million for the 13% that he held. And between them, Club 1872 and supporters, they couldn't raise the funds to buy them. So they're irrelevant apart from, just like a, 4 or 5% shareholding, whatever they hold. But Douglas Park holds that, and there's many others that hold that as well. They're party shareholders. They have a say an AGM, but apart from that, no, they've got no influence in things going forward at all for me.
Aye, well, I think something we'll keep an eye on probably, and we'll see when statements come out and see how they go with the CEO and any positive stuff that they're going to put forward, and we'll see where that takes us. But they've been there for a long time, and a lot of people have went away from them as well. As I noticed, a lot of people had cancelled their membership and stuff, and there'd been a lot of the usual infighting and stuff. But it was there for the club, as Albert says. It was to try and protect a percentage of the club, but at the moment now we've sold it to 51%, so it's irrelevant now really going forward. But there's still a voice within the club for the support, I believe, and they've still got a lot of members still there, so going forward we'll see what happens. And talking about that, as we're just about to wrap up just shortly, but Sarah, if I put you on the spot now, Albert, what you sort of hoping for this season going forward? If you're looking now, what's the expectations? I know it's hard because we've not really got a full squad in that we can judge, but going forward, are you looking for some of the players that have been in the squad last season? If we use like a Cortez, for instance, I'll use him quickly. Do you hope that he'll now come to the fore because he's been slaughtered? Let's be honest, he's been slaughtered by the support. I think he's got potential. I think he's got a skill level. I think it's down to him to take chances and become part of the squad, and when he's given a chance. I know he's back early. I've seen reports he's back in Scotland already. So I'm hoping he'll have a big part to play. Whether maybe he could be a player we could play on the right even.
Mm-hmm. No, Mike,
if we don't get a right player.
But my expectations is to clean the dead wood out and the badgings within the squad. We didn't win anything last year, so it's a failed squad. Let's not mince about with this. We didn't really come close to winning anything last year, apart from the League Cup, I suppose. But so you need to get rid of the dead wood in there. Whoever that is, only the manager can tell. We see what we see. We've got our own favourites and people we like and people we don't like. But the fact of the matter is the squad doesn't work. So Cortez coming to the forefront because he was injured. He needs to stay on the park, as does all the other ones that have got long-term injuries. They need to stay on the park longer, more games with them, bigger influence. I don't care who it is, mate. I will be perfectly honestly. As long as the team starts gelling and looking like a winning team, and you can see, this is the berries now. We're going forward now. I don't care who it is, mate. I'll even go as far as say I don't care if it's even Butland, as long as he produces. But what I've seen, I don't see him producing, but that's neither here nor there. But Martin needs to be careful. You can't let these players con him into thinking they're decent players when in actual fact they're no, because they've done it with Clement, they've done it with Ferguson. And I don't want it to happen to Martin Russell as well. He needs to really be on his toes with these players and say, right, okay, he's never done anything last season. He's never came close to doing anything last season. So there is reasons for that. I'm changing the style of football. See if you can fit into this. But at the end of the day, it's all about attitude and it's all about signings, mate. So me personally, my expectation is qualifying for Europe, whether it's the Champions League or Europa, but qualify for Europe next rounds, win the league. Definitely win the league. That's my two. And anything else we get after that is gravy for me.
Right. You got to go for the league. First and foremost, we've got to get back to winning in Scotland. You got to get the marker put back down again. We need to get back to winning in Scotland. That's for me anyway. Europe will be where it will be, to be honest. I'd like to qualify for the Champions League, but if we don't and we drop down in the Europa League and we get through the playoff and we're seeded in the group stages, then we've done well in that competition, and it's enough of a distraction when you're trying to win a league. I think AK and building a team together and forming it and getting everybody suited to the system.
Listen, I hate being comparable to them, but I've got to, because you look at the time when Postecoglou came in for them, and it was similar. 25 points we'd won the league by. We lost the league by 17 points last year. We were all laughing at them. Postecoglou, who's that? What's his credentials? Why is he there? Even the Rangers support was up arms about it. They lost 3 out of their first 5 league games, and he went on to win the league that year. In Europe, you get put out the Champions League, put out the Europa League, and get put out the Conference League. You know, they were embarrassing. But you know what? He picked up a double his first year and a treble his second year. And he's won a European trophy there with Spurs. So it just shows you, don't just put up the white flag because you don't like the manager or his style or what sort of players or whatever's going to come in. Did he have money? Aye. But he had trust with his board. They backed him and eventually won over their support. I'm hoping Russell Martin does the same with us. I would sacrifice Europe this year for domestic success, and domestic success for me is winning a league and overturning that 17-point gap that we had last year. We beat them over the course of the season, the one-half game, so we know we're capable in there. It was the other games that was hurting us more than anything. So that all comes down to mentality. That all comes down to attitude and endeavour and willing to go that extra yard. And I hope that's what Russell Martin implements into that squad of players and turns them into winners. That's what I'm hoping for, mate. But really enjoyed the show tonight with you.
I think we need to be playing European football, and the ambition for me now is to get into the Champions League. And if we don't, then we go into the conference, into that Europa League, and we go into the group stages through a qualifier. I'd expect us to get through and put a mark on there. But Champions League would accelerate. The money that would come in to the club would be astronomical for us, for what we've not been pulling in the last number of seasons. So for that aspect, I agree. But first and foremost, we've got to go full tilt for the league title. We've got to make sure that we're winning this league this year, and we've got to make sure that we're getting into the cup finals. And if we're in there, I'm hoping we'll win them and all. But we've got to go on all fronts as we expect as a support. But it's down to the directors and the board now to make it stronger for Russell Martin. So final words, AK, and then I'll come to Albert.
No, super show tonight. The two of love, cutting the mustard with talking about the Rangers. There's big things ahead. Kind of tempered the now, frustrated a wee bit with the lack of activity. Of course we are, because we want to see, the turnover of players that we're expecting to make us the better team that we're looking for on the park. But no, good show tonight, guys. And it's absolutely roasting. I don't know about you two. Still melting here.
Right, cheers, big man. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it as always, and it was good to do the show tonight with you. Albert.
I enjoyed it, mate. Enjoyed it. We'll do another show when there's something else to talk about, mate. It's one of the ones you've just got to wait and see. But keep our powder dry. We'll get there, mate. I'm quite confident we'll get there. And I quite like the fact that the way we're going about our business, mate. It's nice and steady, nice and quiet. No flamboyant, no big panic buttons getting pressed. So I'm enjoying it, mate.
Right.
Enjoy the night.
Well, thanks for popping on tonight and doing the show as well. I thoroughly appreciate it. I'd like to thank everybody out there who's listened in, all the troops that are out in the YouTube channel. I'd like to thank them for participating tonight. Everybody else out there on Facebook and Twitter, and any other device that you're listening. We'll probably be back at some point, I would think, next week. We'd like to think we'll get a few signings in, and if so, then I'm sure there'll be a show on that night and we can talk about that. But apart from that, I'd like to thank Old School Blue and Fox for helping us out and doing the show tonight, because without them there is no show. So hopefully out there in Rangers world we'll have something to look forward to next week with some more signings, and look forward to the pre-season games coming up. So as always, there's only one team and one crown. Take it away.